Okay, so this is probably a video you might even want to save because this is something that you're going to do for every ad account that we work on because our process is so straight line method for lead generation. There's basically two types of campaigns that we run. One is an engagement campaign with limited testing, and then which is what we call rapid testing, and then we have a conversion campaign for leads that's ABO, usually ad set budget optimized. And then sometimes we have a CBO campaign, a third campaign, which is still a leads campaign. It's just optimized for campaign budget because that's for a more higher budget, usually around $150 a day or more. And we move creative tests from the ABO into the CBO, right? So you can think of it kind of like a downstream effect. You start out with rapid testing, those tests get moved into the ABO creative testing, which then get moved into a CBO campaign that's scaled up. Pretty straightforward. But there's two types of metrics we want to pay attention to. One is the engagement metrics for our rapid testing. Then one is the conversion metrics for our conversion campaign. Okay. And generally speaking, with the conversion campaigns that we run, we do nothing but dynamic ad sets. And we do this to keep things very simple and not complicated because we have a proven system that we use for combinations at the DCO level, which is basically a combination of engagement winners that again, this goes back to the training, and I keep hammering this, and I like to hammer this so everybody's on the same page. But we need a vertical style media, a square media, right? Like here, I have a square piece of media. It keeps moving. I have a square piece of media, two vertical pieces of media here, actually, because I'm running two different Apple Notes style ads that work pretty well, and then a video, right? Vertical piece of media. So it's important that we have these combinations: square, vertical, graphic design, and video, right? And then awareness based, which is like more relationship building, which is what we're looking for kind of in the beginning in rapid testing, and then conversion based ads that are conversion based. Okay. So when we launch our rapid tests and we launch the different frameworks to see which one gets better front end metrics, we don't care about down funnel metrics. All we care about is front end metrics. Front end metrics in a rapid testing engagement campaign consists of, how did these actually perform? And I'm going to show you a recent test here on how to set up your view because you're going to have two custom views to view things to keep things very simple for you based on how we do this. So you're going to customize the columns, okay? And we're just simply going to delete everything on the right hand side. I just delete everything, delete all that stuff. You don't, for what you do, you don't care about 90% of that stuff, right? The first thing that we're going to look at is impressions, okay? We want that at the top of the list, right? First thing we want is impressions. Then the next thing is CTR, click-through rate. Okay, CTR all is what we like to look at. The next thing we look at for video is hook rate, and that's a custom metric. Now you can see here I built this metric, but I'm going to go ahead and walk through it with you and show you how to build it, just to make it easy for you, okay? So you'd actually create a custom metric. Okay, the format is a percentage, and it's very simple. For hook rate, you're going to do open bracket and select the video 3-second video plays. You want 3-second video plays, right? Divided by sign impressions. Okay, close that bracket off. And then you have your hook rate. So this is going to be hook rate as a percentage because we selected format percentage. I'll just call this D4. This is users that watched the first 3 seconds of a video, right? And we can get more into what makes a good hook rate and what doesn't. But this is data that's important for us to understand to give feedback when you're making Loom videos and telling the CSR what's working and what's not working, especially for a video. And for access, you want everyone with access to the business can access this, right? You could just call it hook rate. You don't have to do V4. I just did that in this particular account because I've created it several times. We'll just create that metric. Okay, it's been created. Let's see here. We want hook rate V4. We'll go ahead and add that in. The next thing we need is the hold rate. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just walk, even though I have one there again, I'll go ahead and walk through that. The hold rate is also a percentage format. And what we're going to do is do open bracket through plays. Okay, so you need through plays. Divided by 3-second video plays. Okay, so we're going to go here and do 3-second video plays. Here, and then close the bracket. Okay, and then this is going to be hold rate. I'll just do V2 for this one since I already have the first one. And this is people that consume 15 seconds or more, right? Because you're basically taking like the number of people that were hooked and then consumed the video, got it through play, right? Give that as a percentage. Again, everyone in the business should be able to access this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create this metric, add it to this. So this is impressions, click-through rate, hold rate, hook rate, and hold rate. Okay, sometimes, and so then we should be able to apply this. And I always save it though, always save it first. This is your rapid, I always do the naming convention, do AE, which is our naming convention. Rapid testing view KPI. That's what you're going to name it and save it. You want this in every ad account you work on, okay? And it just makes it very easy for how we manage these. Let's just customize this here. I don't know why actions shows up in there. Save that. But this is the way you want it. You want to just see like what's our impressions, right? Simple. What's our click-through rate? What's the hold rate for video? And the hook rate. And these things you'll see with when we do graphic design tests. It's even simpler because you're just looking at impressions and click-through rate. Okay. So yeah, a lot of times these numbers are very high. Sometimes they can be very high when we're running these video view campaigns in rapid testing. And so sometimes it's hard to eke out the success metrics here for the video. You can see this is just slightly better over here, just slightly. But when you look at impressions for rapid testing, that's the most important part because the algorithm now does such a good job finding out who's interested in something in a set of ads, like because we're testing 3 different frameworks, a set of like 3 different ones and seeing, hey, which one's going to be the best one? Clearly, the algorithm favors this video here with 2,700 impressions against 284 or 544 in second place. So even if the click-through rate's slightly lower on an engagement, it doesn't matter. We can see there's so many more impressions. We look at this in the aggregate. This is clearly the winner with that many more impressions. So we always go with the one that usually gets the most impressions. Sometimes if it's very close, sometimes they are close in performance, then you can start kind of using click-through rate hook rate and hold rates to kind of eke it out a little bit more and say, okay, well, which one of these really was the winner? This is another test here that I ran on. Actually, this is a much more robust rapid test that I ran on 10 video creatives in this client account. And clearly this one here was the winner with 5,000. This one was a runner-up with 1,000, but you can see the difference here. Very big difference in the spread on the metrics here. Even the click-through rates on engagement campaigns are generally very low in general just because of the optimization. But you can see here that even with the lower click-through rate, we don't care as much about click-through rate on videos for rapid testing. It matters a little bit more with graphic design when we're rapid testing graphic design. But these are the core four that we look at, primarily impressions. Is going to be the dictator, because look at that. It favored this by 5 times, like 4 times as much as the other ads. And you can see there's actually a very clear design difference. When you look at this ad, there's no headline. They usually have headlines. This one doesn't have the headline. Check out this. This one, the runner-up, it's a headline ad. And what we did is we tested these other headlines on top of the same ad. They're all just different headlines. It's the same video, but we just ran it with different headlines, except we ran one without a headline and it outperformed all of them. Okay, so that's the one we ended up running with, actually. So this is what you want to keep in mind. The rapid testing, you're going to run the rapid testing, and then you'll move the creatives and copywriting for the winner into your conversion campaign. Now, you can't duplicate them, unfortunately, into lead generation. You can duplicate ad sets from ABO to CBO campaigns in lead generation, but you can't do it with engagement ads. You're actually just pulling the raw creatives out, the raw creative and copywriting. Sometimes I'll even look at the copywriting breakdown. I usually use the copywriting trackers that are provided by our VAs, our analysts, to mock up new ads, but the text setting here will show us kind of, sometimes we have to look at like headlines and see if it populates. It's not populating for some reason here. That's unfortunate. But usually we can see in a test, like this one here, let's try this test that we recently ran here. We can see like which headlines really worked well within the campaign. This one's, it's just not showing them for this ad for some reason, unfortunately. So a lot of times I end up going with the copywriting tracker, because it just isn't going to tell me as far as the copywriting is concerned. But we can easily see with rapid testing what's going on with the creative, and that's mainly what we're concerned about. And we're only spending 10% of the budget per day. Like if the daily budget here in this case is $50 a day, we spend like $5 a day for 3 days or something to do rapid testing. And then we move them into a DCO in the main campaign where we're actually going to, put ad spend behind the framework that worked the best for us. Okay. So that's how we set up our rapid testing view. Now, what we're going to look at is our conversion-based view. This is going to be when we're not looking at the rapid testing, right? We've saved this so we can easily go to it. We're going to customize columns again, and we're going to get rid of, we're going to keep impressions and click-through rate, hook rate and hold rate, but we're going to add on to this, and we're going to look for results, performance results, right? And we'll move that up. Actually, what we'll do is cancel this. We're going to go over here and customize columns. Let's see. Or this one here that says custom, we'll actually just edit this. We're going to get rid of these. Okay. We want impressions first. Okay. We want then we want clicks, because then we can tell we're not doing click-through rate. We're looking at clicks all. So we can see if people are opening the form, basically. We want impressions, clicks to see if they're clicking on the ad and opening it to open the form. Then we want results. I like to do results because generally if we do lead forms for the client or we do their website leads, depending on your objective, you'll see both if you just save results, right? And then we want a cost per result to show up. We want to know the relative cost per result, right? How good it's doing within a given period of time. And then we want spend. Or budget. I like to put the budget in behind cost per goal. You can edit the budget right from the dash if you have it in there, which is handy. Oops. Oh, that's too bad. So impressions, link clicks. You should be able to save more than one preset. Cost per results. Budget. Amount spent. So we can see the amount spent. This is pretty much what we're concerned with. Impressions, results, link clicks, like how many, if people are seeing the ads, which ones the algorithm is really showing the most, and then like if they're clicking on it. Because once we get to the creative level, we're done with like the front end rapid testing. And we go in here and we look at actual results. And what we're actually testing in creative testing are combinations of ads in the framework that we use, which is vertical, square, video, graphic design, awareness-based, and conversion-based ads, right? And we're just seeing if we have a good combination here. We're not digging into the ad level, actually. That's done at the rapid testing level when we're digging into like what kinds of copywriting and creative frameworks we're testing here. At this level, we should be using validated creative that we ran through rapid testing already, right? Sometimes if the client is antsy, and they want results right away, we'll just start launching ads if they really want us to. But for the most part, like when we launch an account and when we get it running, this is the process that we do that really works well. That's very well proven is rapid test minutia, like a rapid test small details, like copywriting and creative frameworks, move the winners into a combination that is proven to work well. Like this one's doing pretty good. It's gotten 34 leads at $65 a lead. And it is a combination of ads, right? And we use only dynamic ads for this reason, because they work very well in this manner when we do these kinds of combinations. And so this one actually did really well with like 3 types of videos and these 2 types of images. We have 2 awareness-based images. It's like these AI-driven kind of comic book type of things, or this like impact legal. This is an action figure with like accessories of like failure or whatever. And then we have video creative. That's like a little bit more direct response. And you can actually see here that in the video creative section, this video here actually is getting the majority of the leads. And it's actually, what's crazy is it's a video that we tested that has no captioning, no B-roll. It's just straight up an AI UGC creator getting most of the leads. But the thing about this AI video is it's being used in combination with these other ads. There's retargeting happening in here, and we're letting Meta do the retargeting for us, and it is doing phenomenally well here. The cost per lead here is very good. And so we're still running that one actually. But what you're interested in is how many impressions, how many leads is it cranking out? What's the cost per lead? What's our budget on that? How much have we spent so far in the campaign, right? And you can just see things a lot clearly this way, a lot more clearly. So that's how you set things up for conversions with lead generation. We don't really complicate it too much. At the creative testing level here, we're testing DCOs. We're testing combinations of winners from rapid testing. And that's it. And like if the DCO works, great. And if it doesn't work and it's too high, we turn it off inside of here. Or we run it until it gets too expensive, right? We run it until it seems like it's not getting results, or maybe it started getting results and then it petered out. Like this one here, I think it was $54 in total, but over a period of time, it dropped off and it got a lot more expensive. Okay. So we're not so worried about, turning ads on and off at this level because we're just running dynamic creative. We're letting them run dynamically and letting Meta do its thing with the proven winners. Okay. And our goal is to just launch more ads through rapid testing. We push more ads through rapid testing on a regular basis to get the front end metrics to see what works well on the front end, really, because it's really cheap. The impressions on these are very cheap. And then we can just move them into this campaign here. So that's why you need the two different views. And you do want to save it. You want to save the preset when you do it. Like this one would be our AE slash conversions KPI. Okay, so we can see the KPIs from a conversion standpoint, what we care about: results, cost per result, the amount spent, the link clicks. Like, are people actually clicking on the form? Are they clicking on the ad to open the lead form? That's something you can really see if the lead form is causing a problem. Sometimes our lead forms have too much friction when we launch them. Like there's too many questions and we're trying to verify phone numbers. And you might start launching different lead forms with less questions to see because you might see somebody's clicking on an ad a lot. It's getting a lot of clicks, but it's not getting a lot of leads. Like it's expensive, right? That can be a lead form problem sometimes. And it's hard to see that if you don't see how many times people are clicking it, right? I would say the click-through rate here looks pretty low when you compare the clicks to the impressions. So could be an ad issue too that this cost per lead got so high. But anyway, that's pretty much the long and short of it. I hope that makes sense. There's two different types of views you want to save in here and customize. One is just for your front-end metrics where you're paying attention just to how things are working in rapid testing. And one is for conversion campaigns for ABO, or if it's a scaled up account, a CBO campaign. Okay, thanks.